Hello and welcome to the Polypipe Health, Safety and Environmental Induction. The HSE team is made up of the following: Richard True, our Director of QHSE, Kevin Rose, our Site Health, Safety and Environmental Manager, Gavin Barton, our Site Health, Safety and Environmental Advisor, Gary Chadwick, our Site Health, Safety and Environmental Advisor, Peter Wallace, Environmental Coordinator and Site Safety Trainer. As a new starter to the business, we want to ensure that we give you the necessary health, safety and environmental information to stay healthy and safe whilst at work. And this is the beginning of that journey. Nothing we do is worth getting hurt for. Underpinning the business commitment is a comprehensive health, safety and environmental policy which recognises that health and safety is fundamental to our business activities and has equal status to other aspects of our business performance. The business also recognises that working in a way which minimises any detrimental environmental impacts of our operations and products must be a core value. This policy, which is fully endorsed by our senior leadership team, outlines our commitment to ensure compliance with legal requirements is the minimum acceptable standard, continual improvement towards best practice in health and safety in the environment, support of the necessary systems, procedures and initiatives to ensure that we have the infrastructure in place to effectively manage our HSE responsibilities while meeting our operational needs. The business recognises that the success of its health, safety and environmental policy relies on the actions and positive behaviour of all of our colleagues, contractors and visitors. As part of that ongoing commitment and as part of legislative requirements, the business will provide safe systems of work, provide maintenance of plant and equipment, identify safe methods for handling, storage and transportation, give information instruction, training and supervision, have safe access and egress, have adequate welfare facilities and have a health and safety policy. In return, our colleagues are expected to take reasonable care for yourselves and others who may be affected by your acts or omissions and not misuse or interfere with safety equipment. Our frontline managers will be responsible for the health, safety and well-being of their teams, be role models in HSE performance and ensure colleagues are adequately trained to perform their job safely. In return, we ask that our colleagues cooperate with their colleagues across all levels. Stop if you think it's unsafe. Inform their leader of the situation so corrective action can be taken. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment where required by the safe system of work. Ensure no activity is carried out until suitable and sufficient training has been received, and challenge any unsafe behaviours or operations through the correct channels. Any accidents, incidents or near misses must be reported to your team leader or manager, your point of contact or a member of the HSE team straight away. Please do not continue working until you have been authorised to do so. All accidents will be fully investigated and recorded using an online system. Our aim is to investigate all accidents and incidents to identify the root cause and put measures in place to prevent other similar incidents occurring, in turn reducing the frequency of accidents, incidents and near misses. We have trained first aiders on site who can be easily identified by their high-vis vest. First aid boxes and first aid stations are located in each department. Please familiarise yourself with the trained first aiders and the location of the supplies when you visit the department you are working in. The aim is to achieve zero harm to all who interact with Polypipe Building Services operational activities. Please ensure you are fully conversant with the emergency evacuation procedure before work commences. The fire alarm is tested every weekend and fire drills are carried out at least 4 times annually. In the event of a fire, please raise the alarm by going to the nearest call point or shouting fire. If safe to do so, turn off all machinery and leave the building or area using the nearest fire exit. Please do not run or stop to collect personal belongings. Go straight to the assembly point as advised by your point of contact or the HSE department. Please do not attempt to fight the fire. When you visit your department or work area, please familiarise yourself with the fire exit routes and your allocated assembly point. Various signage is displayed throughout the site. Please follow instructions, site rules and procedures at all times. Appropriate PPE should be worn as and when required, depending on the task you are carrying out and the risk assessment and method statement guidance. As a minimum, if you're working in operational areas, you should be wearing a high-vis vest and safety shoes. Some areas on our site require mandatory hearing protection. Please do not enter these areas without it. You will receive training for each applicable activity that you are expected to carry out and must wear the PPE highlighted on the training or documentation. If you are at all in doubt, please ask a manager, team leader or a member of the HSE team. Housekeeping is a simple but vital part of a safe workplace. Ensure that there is minimal clutter. Essential items should be visible and not hidden. It is important that you keep our site clean and maintain a high standard. Suitable waste containers are in place for all waste types and the correct waste should be placed in the correct container. Any waste material generated by the work you are carrying out must be stored safely and securely, ensuring that hazardous waste is correctly identified and segregated. Any contractor dealing with such waste must be licensed, competent, aware of legal and other requirements, and the correct documentation must be completed when any waste is removed from site. For example, a waste transfer note or a consignment note for hazardous waste. Workplace transport is probably the most dangerous activity on this production site, with FLTs, HGVs, cars and other vehicles frequently transiting around site. On the department-specific induction, we will highlight the main hazards in the department to you. However, please be aware that vehicles move in and around each department on site. If you are using a vehicle on site, as well as ensuring you observe vehicle movement, please be aware of pedestrians moving around the site. Extra care must be taken and the speed limits must be adhered to. Pedestrians should not approach moving vehicles. You must make sure the driver of the vehicle is fully aware of your presence. Any vehicle allowed on site may be subject to a security search. There are designated smoking areas and canteen facilities across all of the departments. These will be signposted in your department-specific induction. Toilet facilities are located in each department and the location of these facilities will be highlighted on your departmental induction. At Polypipe Building Services, the significant activities that impact the environment are called environmental aspects. These are waste generation from manufacturing, emissions to water, waste generation, noise from vehicles and manufacturing activities, and potential emissions to water, land and air. These environmental aspects are required to be managed, measured and monitored to reduce the environmental impacts. Failure to manage these could result in increases in waste made, excessive use of raw materials, increases in harmful emissions, excessive energy use and potential harm to the environment. At Polypipe Building Services, the activities that we carry out may have an adverse impact on our neighbours due to the sound levels of equipment and vehicles that we use as part of our everyday operations. Although we have carried out considerable sound reduction measures, there are operational conditions that we need to be aware of that could also increase our sound levels to our neighbours. Therefore, during everyday operations, it is important that we ensure that all equipment and vehicles are maintained to ensure that they operate effectively and efficiently, producing the minimal sound levels. Any faults are immediately reported to maintenance. All sound abatement equipment is in place and in use. All doors adjacent to loud processing equipment are kept closed when not in use. At Polypipe Building Services, we are taking steps to reduce waste, increase recycling and optimise the use of energy. Please remember to turn off lights, desktops, laptops, etc. when they are not being used. Set the heating or aircon to a reasonable temperature. Reduce compressed air usage and report any leaks, and turn off compressors that shut down. To ensure that we can protect the environment and work towards a sustainable future, we need to prevent instances of pollution and therefore minimise our environmental impact on the planet. Zero pellet, flake and powder loss is a priority for the plastics industry and a critical issue for our environment. At Polypipe Building Services, we have committed to supporting Operation Clean Sweep. Our actions include implementing no loss to the environment procedures, reporting all spills and improving housekeeping, improving vacuum cleaning systems, installing central vacuum systems where practical and providing equipment as required, conducting routine inspections and maintenance of equipment used to capture and contain pellets, flakes and powder, Installing zero loss containment systems such as storm drain screens wherever necessary to prevent pellets, flakes and powder from escaping plant boundaries. At Polypipe Building Services, we are always trying to run improvement projects to improve the health and safety of colleagues on site, but also to positively interact with our environment. One such example of this is our green polypipe roof. Thank you for watching. Please remember that we are always here to help and listen. And remember, nothing we do is worth getting hurt for.